What's going on, guys, and welcome to Nice World TV. We actually have a great show for you today. Every story we imagine already has a heartbeat. It might be a distant war drum echoing across the floating islands. It might be a soft piano melody drifting through the quiet cherry blossom town at sunset. It might even be a plushing neon sithems humming beneath the futuristic skyline. Yet, for most creators, the soundtrack stays tapped in the imagination, where it's very vivid, very emotional, but very reachable. In today's video, we're going to be exploring how Mureka actually transforms that invincible music into something very real. Not by overwhelming you with technical tools, but actually by creating and showing you real creativity. By amplifying it, we're going to be turning a simple idea, which is a character, a world, or even a mood, into a fully realized and original song. So you know what, guys? Let's get into it. World building is an emotional before it's actually visual. So when you actually design an imaginary universe, whether it's an anime-inspired rebellion, a mystic forest empire, or a Cybertruck magnetic atmosphere, you're not just creating locations, you're creating an actual atmosphere, a tone, and emotional gravity.
It is a quiet heart, but built for the heavy tide, a place where the jagged edges of the day subside. I will hold the weight until your spirit feels light, wrapping safety around the coldest hours of the night. We are the steady pulse when the world starts to fray, the gentle hand that keeps the shadows at bay.
Traditionally, bringing these atmospheres to life through music required years of training, expensive software, musicians, vocalists, and even studio productions. The barrier between imagination and actual execution was absolutely massive. Many creators simply settled for stock music that sort of kind of matched what the vision they was looking for. But what if the music could begin where your imagination actually begins? So with Mureka now, starting point isn't a sheet of music or audio engineering, it's emotion. You describe the feeling, you describe the world, you describe the character, and from those words, a musical identity begins to form. The result isn't a generic loop, which is composition, which is actually shaped around your actual concept. This is where the inspiration actually accelerates. Instead of adapting your world to your existing music, the music adapts to your actual world you want to create.
The throne is carved from calcified remains of those who thought they held the heavy reins. 1,000 winters frozen in my stead. The scent of ancient ash hangs in the air.
Think about your favorite anime opening. It doesn't just introduce the characters, it defines the emotional contract of all the series. The soaring vocals promises adventure. The rapid drums signal urgency. The key change hints at heartbreak to actually come. Now imagine you're actually building your own animated universe. A skyskip captain leading a rebellion against a technical empire in a floating world. You want an opening theme that feels like hope, wrapped with a bit of urgency. But with this now, this is something rooted in the actual J-pop energy, but layered for orchestral drama. With AI-assisted composition, you don't need to hum melodies perfectly or program instruments manually. You describe high-energy anime opening theme, J-pop style vocals, orchestral strings, underneath emotional with I triumph. The AI actually interprets the tempo, the instrumentals, the structure, and the vocal tone. Within moments, you have something that feels like it belongs to actually start at the beginning of the whole episode.
The weight of gravity attempts to hold my spirit down. The dust of every battle fought is settled on this crown. I see the jagged edges of a world I try to break. The iron will within my soul for every choice I make. The wind is howling secrets of the ones who turn.
This is where the actual magic truly happens. Not because the AI replaces everything, but because it unlocks it. Suddenly, your story has an atmosphere and a real theme, something you can share with your audience, something that actually makes your world feel legitimate but also alive at the same time. And when your audience hears that opening theme, your fictional world stops feeling imaginary. It feels cinematic. In many animes, in narrative-driven games, character songs hold a special power. They reveal vulnerability. They expose hidden motivations. They give emotional depth that dialogue alone cannot achieve. Picture a forest guardian, spirit ancient, gentle, abiding by its centuries of memory. She doesn't shout her story, she sings it softly. Her theme would likely feature disciplined strings, airy vocals, and melody that rises the real mist through the morning trees. When you create an actual character song using AI, you're not just generating music, you're actually translating the psychology inside of the actual sound. So you can actually shape the actual tone, hopefully, and even making it sound very fierce. You can explore even lyrical themes tied directly to characters' arch. Instead of actually commissioning on full production teams, you actually come with something very creative. You adjust the mood, you shift the vocal intensity, and you experiment with the language influences. And what actually emerges isn't just a background noise, it's an emotional storytelling through music. This is how the AI actually enhances expressions and it lowers the technical barriers so that emotional sounds can actually center the overall stage. Worlds evolve, stories shift tone, characters grow. Music should evolve with them. One of the most exciting creative possibilities in genre transformation is the same fictional universe can actually sound entirely different depending on the actual perspective. So your futuristic actual rebellion might begin with emerges with J-pop optimism, which is bright, fast, full of determination. But the story darkens, the soundtrack may shift into a real different type of change with epic scoring, layering the actual signs and of course the cinematic precision. Later, you still might want to experiment with the futuristic pop systematic textures. This is the glitch rhythms, the digital vocals, and even processing the actual reflect of the world overtaken by the actual technology. AI assisted music creation instead of actually transitions it to actually making it happen. So you're not locked into any type of single style. You are free to explore. For example, J-pop becomes the real orchestra. The orchestra becomes the electric. The electronic blends into the hybrid cinematic pop. Each actual variation adds dimensions to the actual world. Each genre shifts, reinforcing narratives of growth. So instead of your actual world having one musical color, it gains a full emotional spectrum, simplifying the real creative process without simplifying creativity. There's an actual real misconception that making something easier makes it less meaningful. But in reality, removing technical friction often amplifies the overall freedom. So when creators actually don't have to really worry about the software and the complexity or production, what they can actually focus on is the overall intention. They can refine the mood, they can test the alternative versions, and they can actually experiment with a whole range of different things, meaning not wasting any money on any specific type of budgets. Because AI actually simplifies the structure, the arrangement, and the execution, but the whole creative direction remains yours. You choose the emotion, you choose the narrative context, and you decide what world it needs to sound like. The result is absolutely empowering, guys. Writers can actually now explore musical storytelling. Game developers can actually prototype immersive soundtracks instantly. And also with this now, guys, even hobby people who have so many hobbies can actually hear the fictional universe breathe through the actual melody. This is not about automation replacing. This is all about amplifying the creativity. And using Mureka, that is what it can do. Music actually becomes accessible. Entirely new formats emerge. Imagine releasing a character introduction videos, each with a unique AI generated theme. Imagine publishing a world building playlist alongside your actual novel. So imagine interactive storytelling where each actual faction of the universe has its own musical identity. Imagine fans remixing alternative genres or even versions into stories of opening themes. AI-driven composition opens doors beyond traditional media pipelines. It encourages experimentation across YouTube, animation, indie games, podcasts, and even digital storytelling platforms. So instead of music actually just being the final, no, now its expensive step is actually the production. It becomes part of the overall creative spark. It becomes a real collaborative, which is very, very fluid for everyone. See guys, I have to say Mureka is absolutely amazing. The reason why, because it has really transformed my overall vision. At the heart of any storytelling connection, we build worlds so others can actually step inside them. Music deepens the invitation, it surrounds the audience, it moves them, and of course it changes the overall theme. But Mureka has actually reached a point where it doesn't just calculate the collaborators, it listens to your prompts, your tone, your intent, and it transforms them into something audible and alive. So whether you're actually crafting anime style openings, emotional characters, or anything like that, or even futuristic pop anthems, the barrier between idea and soundtrack has never been easier using Mureka, and I'm telling you that because it is real, guys. The world is very vivid. Your characters already breathe. Your story already has an emotion. So now, if you really want to start creating some phenomenal music by using AI, Mureka is definitely what you should use. So make sure you look at my description below. You click the link and head straight over there, guys, because I'm telling you now, this will change your mind. And I'm telling you, your mind will really expand while you're using it. So like I always say, Nice World TV, we're out. See you later, guys.